Hello guys, this is Recaps Now here. Today, I'm going to explain a movie called Mandibles, released in 2020. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Manu is a simple guy who does small jobs to earn money. He is kicked out of his house and is currently living on the beach. One morning, he is approached by a regular client, Mouche. Moche wants Manu to pick up a suitcase from a client named Michele. Moche also wants him to deliver it to another businessman. Manu is asked to deliver the goods by car and not to ask any questions or look into it. The work is shady, but Manu is too naive to understand that the suitcase may have something illegal. Manu agrees to do the job for the money, but the only problem was he did not own a car. Manu asked if he could deliver the goods by hand. Moche almost resists giving him the work. He repeatedly exclaims that no one could see the suitcase, and it had to be delivered by car only. Manu then leaves for searching for a car. He finds an old car. Then he goes to his friend John Gab. Manu wants to include John with him. Manu also wanted to share half of the money with John, as he also needed money. The friends are traveling to a location when they hear a strange noise. The noise was coming from the trunk. At first, they ignore it as the car's old engine, but as the noise got louder, they start worrying. Suddenly, the car stops on a silent highway. They feel intrigued. Then they open the rear of the car and find a fly struggling to get free. The friends were amazed by the size of it. Manu closes the trunk of the car. Manu felt uncomfortable and wanted to throw the fly away. He wants to throw it away to make space for the suitcase. Manu tries to open the trunk, but it got jammed. Manu is frustrated by this, while John looks for a better plan. He suggests that they quit the task and focus on the fly. John also says that they can tame the fly and use it to steal money and food, whose worth would be far more than the $500 Michele was giving them. The idea seemed a good one to Manu, so he quits the mission. They needed a place to train the fly, which was difficult to get as Manu lived on a beach and Joe lived with his mom. They find a trailer nearby. However, an old lived in it. Manu cleverly engages him in a conversation and knocks him down. After this, they tie him to a barrel outside. Then they take over the trailer. Inside it, they find some food, tools, and a gun. They discuss that they didn't have any use for the gun, but still decided to keep it as a safety measure. Using the tools, they open the trunk. Then they bring out the fly and wrap it around with tape so it could not fly away. The old man offers them $3,000 if they let him go. They do not doubt the man and lets him go. According to the stranger, he has hidden the money inside a tree, which was a few miles away. Manu and the stranger drive away, while John looked after the fly. Manu stops the car after going some distance and looks for the gun under the seat. The stranger takes the opportunity and runs away. Manu has to sadly return to the trailer with no money. Meanwhile, John has brought cat food with a small amount of money they had. Manu is frustrated by it, but John says they have to feed the fly first so that it could steal food for them. By the end of the day, the fly has eaten all the food, but was still hungry. Having not eaten for a day, the friends were hungry. The next morning, they used the gun to threaten a stranger to buy them groceries. After returning to the trailer, Manu cooks dinner, while John trains the fly. He names it Dominic and gives him a toy for obeying his orders. While it was obedient, it was not trained enough to steal food. We see that while the two friends are having a conversation, Manu burns the food. The fire gets out of control and Manu somehow gets out of the trailer. While the trailer burns, by the end of the day, the trailer is burned and the friends are left homeless again. They have broth and sleep in the car for the night. In the morning, Manu wakes up on the ground. He had to shift in the middle of the night, as the fly was making a lot of noise. He was not very excited about training the fly as John Gab. They decide to sell the car and buy a new one that has a lot of space to sleep in. They try to drive away, but the car does not start. Manu uses a pony bicycle to drag and carry the car to the dealer. They come across a group of friends. One of the girls, Cecile, mistakes Manu to be her school friend Fred. She does not let him explain, and invites and takes him to her farmhouse. On reaching the house, they leave Dominic in the car. John was worried for the fly, but Manu convinces him. We see the friends who were homeless a while ago now enjoying a drink by the pool with beautiful ladies. Cecile's brother Serge is not like that she had brought strangers to the house, but he does not say anything. Cecile asks the boys to stay the night as they had 2 empty rooms. Manu agrees to the offer, while John is worried for Dominic. Cecile asks about Dominic, to which they say that she was John's cousin, who was waiting for them somewhere else. While showing them the room, Cecile brings out her yearbook and shows Manu the picture of a guy who was exactly like him. Manu is surprised by the resemblance, but he does not tell her he was somebody else. At dinner, they meet Cecile's sister Agnes. Agnes was sick and had a condition due to which she screamed while talking. Cecile informs the boys that while Agnes was young she hurt herself in the head, which made her voice permanently loud. John Gab brings the fly to his room to train it. While Manu goes to his room, there he finds Agnes. She kicks him out, feeling that he was flirting with her. John also does not allow him to sleep in his room, as he had to train Dominic. Being helpless, Manu sleeps by the pool. The next morning, John is woken up by Agnes. She complains that he was hiding somebody in his room. John maintains he was alone. Agnes says she could hear him talking all night. John tries to hide that he had a giant fly by saying he had a dog. Agnes threatens to get them kicked out, as dogs were not allowed in the house. John panics and asks Manu to find a dog to protect Dominic's secret. Manu goes around the block and finds a small puppy, and he brings it inside the house. Agnes complains that the boys had a dog in their room. No one believed her, as used to make things up. But on severe insistence, a reluctant group goes to check. Manu shows them the dog and apologizes. Cecile forgives him, since the dog is small and harmless, but Agnes and Serge doubt them. After this, John shows Manu a new trick that he had taught Dominic. They are delighted to see that it could turn and walk at John's command. They felt happy as it would not take the fly long to get them food. Later, Manu and John are playing in the pool just like kids. Agnes was waiting for them to shut up while she relaxed. When they do not shut up, she goes inside. In their room, Dominic is alone with the puppy. The puppy is curious to see the strange creature and attacks it. We see Agnes goes to the room and find it locked. She suspects the boys were hiding something. She uses a hairpin to unlock the door and finds Dominic. Agnes is scared by seeing Dominic and she screams and calls out everybody. When they arrive, Dominic is missing, and Agnes could not say anything. They find out that the puppy was also missing. On seeing the leash it was tied with, John assumes the fly ate the dog, while others feel Agnes ate the dog. The others call the police to arrest Agnes. Meanwhile, Dominic is outside drinking water from the pool. John finds it and hides it in the car, so that no one notices it. Before being taken to the hospital, Agnes speaks to Cecile. For the first time, Agnes was speaking in a normal tone. She tells Cecile about the giant insect, but Cecile does not believe it. One of the officers is seen talking to the girls about the case. He recognizes Cecile to be his old classmate. It turns out that the officer was the real Fred, as it meant that she was living with 2 strangers for the last 2 days. John Gab hears the conversation, immediately asks Manu to start the car. They run away with the fly, before anyone could catch them for fraud. After this, they plan to continue their old mission despite being 3 days left, as it needed a few more days to train Dominic. They drive away to Michael's place, who was a dentist. Michael is surprised to see them, but hands them a suitcase and tells them to deliver it to a wealthy client. That evening, the friends reach the said location and delivers the suitcase to the client. In contrast to what they had expected, the box had a pair of diamond-embedded viner in it. They get paid for the service and return with the money to train the fly. A few days later, they are shown to be on a beach. John Gab is excited as the training with the fly is complete. He gets a newspaper from the trash can and shows Dominic a picture of bananas. He hopes that the insect will get them the food once it is set free. However, when he unties the rope, Dominic flies away. We see that John is hopeful the fly would return soon. But Manu was not that optimistic. Manu says even if it did not return, they still had each other for company. John Gab agrees, but is disheartened at the loss of his beloved pet. They get in the car to drive off, when a bunch of bananas falls on the hood, followed by Dominic. The friends are surprised by this, as it meant their training had worked. This is how the movie ends. Thanks for watching.